for others. Each one should use whatever gift he is given to serve others. That's what it says in 1 Peter 4:10. And when we get our eyes off of what do I want to do and look at how could I meet somebody else's needs, then ministry changes completely. And under, let's see, that next one there, for the purpose, spiritual gifts are to produce maturity and stability in the church and the land. It was he who gave some to be apostles, some to be prophets, some to be evangelists, and some to be pastors and teachers, to prepare God's people for works of service, so that the body of Christ may be built up until we reach the unity of faith and in the knowledge of the Son of God and become mature, attaining to the whole measure of Christ. So while our spiritual gifts are for the benefits of others, they help us to grow and mature. So they're for our benefit too. So, said your spiritual gifts survey that you took before, we discussed it a little bit last week. We could spend, weeks and weeks talking about spiritual gifts, but since most of you've already had the first class where you did the survey and you've been through that, we're not going to talk anymore really about spiritual gifts unless somebody has something they want to share right now. Maybe a gift they've discovered they had, or one they thought they had and they realized they didn't. Anyone want to share any with us?
I think it kind of surprised all of us to know what our special gift was.
It surprised me. Anything particular? Did you change what you were doing once you got your spiritual gift surveys back? Change the way you were thinking about things? Or we'll have to work on some more than what we guess. Well, the S in shape is for spiritual gifts. I'm going to go ahead and hand these out. I have enough. We'll take one and just pass them around. This week, after you read 1 Corinthians 12, if you would look at the top section of this form, it's spiritual gifts, and it has 3 points, spiritual gifts I believe I have, and then I feel I may have these gifts because. Very simple, 6 little lines. You can use the spiritual gifts survey if you've gotten that back. If you haven't, we'll get the ones that you turned in tonight scored as fast as we can and get them back to you. But, just what do you think your spiritual gifts are? And then why do you think you have those? And if you have any trouble filling out that section, go back to your survey, come up and talk to me, and we'll sit down and figure out something for you there. But just kind of highlight your spiritual gifts there. The second section is your heart. And we monitor your heartbeat on our handout there. What is your heart?
But you're going to keep going.
What keeps you going? Can you live without your heart?
It's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
It'd be a little hard. What are some other ways that a heart is described?
This is whatever is in your heart. It's the way you speak. You can basically tell what a person speaks is what's in their heart.
Okay.
It's who you are.
It's who you are. You might be described as your driving impulse, that vital force that keeps you going. We each have a different heartbeat. If you've ever watched an EKG, and we've all seen TV, so we've at least seen them there. No EKG is alike. I mean, they're all different. Each individual, it's about like a fingerprint, from what I understand. Each one's slightly different, yet we've all got to have that beat going, don't we? God's given each one of us our very own emotional heartbeat. And that heartbeat races when we encounter activities, subjects, circumstances that interest us. I can sit and listen to people talk about football and eventually fall asleep. But when the talk turns to soccer, I kind of perk up and listen for the names that I recognize and what teams they're talking about and that kind of thing, because my TV's on soccer almost all the time at home with my two boys. And so I heard a lot of that. I get interested a little bit more. Now, they can sit and talk about ballroom dancing all day, and again, I will fall asleep probably. But you throw in the word clogging and my ears will pick up, and I'll think, oh, who clogs? You know, what kind of dances do you dance to? And I'm all excited all of a sudden. So, you know, God gives us these different little things that get us going. So our heart is what gets you moving, what makes you start ticking and gets your blood flowing and wakes you up a little bit. We've put down here what I have a heart for or what motivates